Hey, here we are. Oh, 6:30 right on the nose. I love being prompt. Let's give myself a little hand, huh? I never applaud myself. I think that's what I think everybody, here's my therapy for the day for everybody. Wake up in the morning and applaud yourself just for waking up. Let's start there. I set the bar very low. Let's understand. Setting the bar low is how to succeed. You set it here, you don't achieve it, you set it low. Wake up in the morning, there you go, a little applause. And then it can only go up from there because you've set it so low. That's my advice today. Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man, Stevie K. And hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Again, a pretty nice weather weekend. Weathered weekend. It was nice. I continued in my chase for my race coming November 9th. I did pretty well. I had my run on Saturday. That went pretty well. It was pretty packed on the path. Like I always discuss with you, a lot of runners, bikers, dog walkers, bird watchers, you name it, it's on that path. Vape smokers, pot smokers, chain smokers, anything you got, we have at the path. So if you're not sure of what your clique is, if you're a bird watcher, come on down. If you're a pot smoker, come on down. We got it all on the path. We don't discriminate. It's a beautiful melting pot of mess. But I was able to run, and I learned something on this run, and I'll discuss it more. But I had been running, and now for me, music is key to running. I need my music. I need something to put me in a better headspace. I don't like to hear the pounding of the pavement. So what I do, I have a playlist, right? And I had the same playlist for quite some time. A lot of Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Little Creed, which by the way is going to be playing at Madison Square Garden, which is a shock because they only really have one song, and that was back in the 90s. So I'm not sure why they're playing at the theater at Madison Square Garden. But I have, a little bit of Sum 41, a little bit, so there's a touch of Linkin Park, a little bit of everybody, right? Um, it's a little bit harder. A little, not so much Three Doors Down, Little Lighthouse. So it's a little mixed, but there's some hard stuff on there too. Like I said, and a lot of '90s grunge, and it's just hard. It's hard music for hard running. And I said, I need something lighter, something softer, something melodic, something to put me in something quieter, easy listening, I think they call it on the radio. So, I listen to a little country here and there, your Kenny Chesneys and your Jason Aldeans and your Rebas and Judds and all the rest, the Dollies and the Carrie Underwoods and Kelly Clarkson. She's not really country. But you got them all, Mumford Sons, and all the others, right? I like the female group, Highway Women. It's the Four Women, I believe. That's they're really good. And so I said, let me load up my playlist with a little country, and it worked. And the run was good. It was. I had a good, nice run, and it felt good, and I think so now I've dialed in on what I need to do to get ready for this race, is load up my playlist with, so if you have any good country suggestions, I've asked my clients this, some good country, I know a lot of us, everybody's into the country thing now, so if you're, you have some thoughts, don't be afraid, send me a message on my Instagram, Stephen R. Kaminsky, and let's see, I'll throw it on my playlist, and I'd appreciate that. It is September 23rd. It's a little bit drizzly out. It's a little dank, I believe they call it. Dank. Dank and damp. It's got that in-your-bones feel, right? It's just not raining hard enough. It's just a little spritz to be annoying, and it's Monday, which always is wonderful. Karen Carpenter always says rainy days and Mondays always get me down, but let's try to get up, right? I already said, if you're up right now, you're a winner. So last night, not only did I was out of the box, out of my thing. I always Saturday I do my run, Sunday I biked. So that's usually how I spend my weekends. I'm always training. So I had an event last night I went to, thanks to my sister. She got me a birthday gift back in March for a ticket to the Sebastian Maniscalco comedy show last night at Madison Square Garden. My brother also, she got a ticket for, and my brother-in-law went, her husband, and his son, my nephew, if you can follow that, Kev, and it was a great show. I'm a big fan of Sebastian Maniscalco. Really, really good show. It was actually funny. My niece happened to be going the same night with her friend, and she came from the other side of the garden to where we were sitting. She was sitting on the other side, and she came and found us, and she's so funny, and she's so good. She was like, hey, and there were two seats next to us that they sat in that were open, but as it got closer, they went back to their seats and people did come to their seats. It was packed, sold out, good show. It was his 5th show. He started Wednesday night, and it was supposed to be just Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They added Saturday and Sunday because they were sold out, big shows. He's selling it out. He's making some bucks. I was trying to figure out what I thought he was taking in each night. And Wednesday night, the first night, my other nephew was there, and Seinfeld actually came out for a few minutes in that show. But the show we were at, there was a couple of good comics came out. An Irish comic, Pat McLean, he was pretty funny. And then the other guy, Pete L'Oreal, that Sebastian does a podcast with him. So he was pretty funny too. But Sebastian comes out on this little Zeppa, this little, one of those little Italian mopeds. And it was pretty funny. And he comes on the stage. And he was good. I probably did a little over an hour, and the other guys did maybe about 15 minutes each. So, it started a little after 7, finished just about 9, so it was good. And he was really funny. I don't want to. It's never funny to tell what a comic said because you can't secondhand tell their set and be funny, right? You ever try to explain? You're like, and then it happened, and then he said, I got it, and then nobody's laughing, and then you look like an idiot, and you look like you're promoting a bad show. So I don't want to do that. But some of the things he did was funny. He talked about his doctor visit. He talked about going to Universal Studios with his kids. Things like that were pretty funny. I didn't even know he's in a show on HBO Max right now called The Bookie. And I was telling my mom this. I said, it's difficult right now. They're trying to find something to cash in on his celebrityness now, right? His hot moment. He's probably one of the, top 2-3 comics right now in the business. Sell out any arena. He's actually going to be on tonight, Jimmy Fallon. So he'll probably talk about, the shows he did in New York. It's at 11:30. He'll be on Jimmy Fallon. So that's at 11:30 tonight. But I think, he did the Green Book. He played himself, basically. He played, just like an Italian brother to the main character. It was fine. Nothing memorable. It was a very small part. Then he also played, he was in All About My Father with Robert De Niro. That was not good. That movie wasn't good. But they need to try to see about some kind of sitcom, I think. I think that would be better for him. Something a little bit more, I was, discussing that with my mom, and I was, we were saying, something more along those lines would be better for him. As opposed to, definitely the Bookie is more drama. It's something a little more serious. It's hard, and I said, it's not that easy, and Jim Carrey made it look easy to take stand-up to the movie screen. Kevin Hart, Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams. It's not that easy. You can't just be a stand-up comic and all of a sudden have a blockbuster movie career and win Oscars like those guys did. It's not that easy, just because they're funny. And they didn't even win their awards for funny movies, obviously. Robin Williams won for Good Will Hunting. Jim Carrey won for, it wasn't Yes Man. It was when he was being, I forget the name of the movie, when he was being videotaped, The Truman Show. That's what he won for. So, he didn't win for Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That was the start of his movie career. But, that's, I think Eddie Murphy got it nominated at least for Dreamgirls. Again, it wasn't for one of his action movies, so he has, or Coming to America. So it's not that every stand-up can have it. I mean, Kevin James is vice versa. He's not a good stand-up comic, even though that's how he started, but he was great in King of Queens. And then he has his silly movies he does with Adam Sandler. But same with Adam Sandler. He's able to do it, have that career, and then have his own movie. So it's not, Chris Rock's able to do it. Jamie Foxx did it, so I think for Sebastian Maniscalco, they're still trying to see where he can fit into that landscape of, getting off the stage and getting on the screen. Not that easy. But he was really, really good. I was like, how is it going to be to see a stand-up? Because we do our shows at Governor's Comedy Club, so I see all the stand-ups. And you're doing a room of maybe a couple of hundred people at best. That's a packed house at Governor's. So you're talking about 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden. How does that work if you're, to seed and but it was fine. It was funny. It was really good. And so I had a good time. So he'll be tonight. And, I tell you, why country? Right? Why do I like country music? It's not country in per se. It's all the things that go with it. And I'm trying to ponder, and I'm like, why is this music going to be good for my running? Why do I feel comfortable with it? And I like the stories. And then I flip the page, and my answer, the answers are always in front of you. If you're searching in life, the signs and the answers will always come. And I say, why do I like country? And then here it comes. I'm going through Newsday, just, reading and sifting, seeing for funny, good stories. And here it is, Wild as a Country Song. And I look, and the book Cocaine and Rhinestones is coming out. The tumultuous love story of Tammy Wynette and George Jones. And that says it all. Cocaine and Rhinestones. That is the music that I want to hear while I'm running. That's it right there in a nutshell. Cocaine and Rhinestones. That's the way to live. So the answers are always right in front of you if you just look hard enough. Cocaine and Rhinestones. They all have that kind of story, you know, those kind of rough stories. I think there was another country singer that had, we'll talk about it later, he had a little befuddle. He said something about the great Taylor Swift, oh my God. So he had to retract and get rid of his tweed and hide and bury himself in a hole. You can't say anything about her. Heavens to Betsy. So, but I'll tell you, it was a great show. Had a lot. It was great to be there with the family, and it was really good. The only part it's difficult is we got there fine. The train was fine. Penn Station is like a mall now. It's all redone, obviously. When you're leaving the Garden, and this is the way it's always been, you go down the escalators, and they're not moving. They don't want them moving. They're just still, and it's just a cattle herd. It's a cattle call. You're just massive amounts of people. Nobody's moving, one step at a time, and everybody's like this, looking at their phone instead of focusing, locking in, finding your space. You need to be always looking. I said this to my brother. I said, you got to be, he kept turning around to talk. I go, lock it in. Talk to me when we're out, off of this thing. Get locked in right here. This is serious. You need to know, I got to go left, right, move, shift. That guy looks like he's sick. Let's stay away from him. That one's coughing. There's a baby over there. I don't want it drooling on me. You got to navigate. You got to see the whole landscape. So I told my brother, I said, turn around. You'll talk to me after. You can't walk backwards in this massive nonsense, and we can't have a conversation. I said, keep it moving. Let's go. I said, follow me. I'll get you out of here. Okay? God forbid there was a fire. Everybody would have been burned to death. They have to have a better way. It's terrible. But, I didn't get any food or anything to eat. It was like $10. You know how MSG is. $20 for a water or some silly nonsense like that. But, anyway. So, big story right here. Big story. Why people are moving from New York. Why are people moving from New York? It says people are leaving New York at record rates. More than 800,000 residents have left for other states since 2020. Almost 1 million people have left New York. And I can feel it. I feel it's a little better. I think they all move towards the path because that's where they are. If you're looking for those 800,000 people, look no further. They're at the Massapequa Path with their dogs and their babies and their bird watchers and their binoculars. But they say they've gone to other states. I know where they are. They're on the LIE and the Southern State because I'm in that mess. Plus, they were at MSG last night. So I don't know if they've really left. And they say, and it's not just the taxes. There's other things. So I said, what other thing could you leave New York for? Where else would you go? Where else could you be where in the middle of the night there's a high-speed chase from Queens that ends up in Massapequa in a gun shoot? Where else can you end up something like that? In a live-action movie, only it's here, in our own backyard. You can't put that on the screen because it's happening here. Where else? You don't get that in Oklahoma. You don't get it in Atlanta, Georgia. You don't get it in Topeka, Kansas. You come here, you got a good chance of witnessing a high-speed chase where it ends in gunfire right next to the place you get a slice of pizza at. Who else can deliver that but New York? And yes, that did happen. There was, I think, 2 fatal fatal shootings. I mean, that guy ended in a, yes, the guy driving the car. This is what, and I love when people tell me, I'm discussing this with some of my friends, clients, and they say he should have just took the ticket. And I said to them, do you think he took the police, first the New York City police, who had to call in and change it to the Nassau County had to take over because that guy made it over the line. Do you think that he was avoiding a $50 failure to signal ticket? Do you think that's what he went on a high-speed chase that was going to end in his demise? I'm sure, because people don't think the way I do, that he had a trunk full of cocaine, probably a rap sheet 70 miles long. He probably had an arm somewhere in the glove compartment. Who knows what this guy had? I'm sure he didn't take the police on a high-speed chase because he was like, I just don't want a failure to signal ticket again. My insurance rate from Geico is going to go through the roof. Here we go. That's not happening. What is wrong with you people? I said that. What are you talking about? Of course he didn't want to go. He was probably going back to the slammer. He didn't want to go back to the slammer. No, your better option, you look at the gas tank, you say, I can get a good, 50 to 100 miles out of what I got left in the tank, and you floor it. You floor it. But with the traffic, how was he able to negotiate all that traffic and make it to Massapequa? Massapequa gets everything. We are famous. We got Baldwin, Seinfeld, the Stray Cats, gun shootouts, the Gambino crime family. We got it all here. What do you want? The Buttafuoco's. Didn't they have, that was Massapequa with that Amy Fisher? I thought that was here. We got it all here. And you want to leave? Where do you want to go? Stay. Enjoy. You're going to go a sleepy town in Ohio. What's going to happen there? Nothing. Come on. It's unbelievable. Here it is. And I'll tell you what else. This is also why you don't want to leave here. Well, this is probably why people are leaving. It says here, officials urge Long Islanders to not drive on Sundays. Let's see why that is. It says, ditch your cars, SUVs, or trucks on Sundays. Take part in the 12th annual Car-Free Day on Long Island, and not just this. They don't want to make it just a one-day thing. They want this to be every Sunday. This is people with too much time on their hands, and they think that this is going to make a difference in some kind of green energy. Let's see what they think. Why do they want to play? They said that the Farmingdale State College gathering of transportation officials and advocates Wednesday morning had a car-free day. Long Island co-chair Mindy said 3,419 Long Islanders have already pledged to give up driving on Sundays. It's very specific. It's easy to do car-free day in New York City, but to do it on Long Island, well, it wasn't easy for that guy that was in a chase. How else would he have, first of all, it was on a Sunday. How else would he couldn't have outrun the cops? So this right there is a problem. What if you want to outrace the police? You need a car. So this is not going to work. And why are they doing this? It's not going to combat climate change. Because one day, 3,000 people are not going to drive their gas guzzlers? Come on. And then what if you got to go to work? Or what are you going to get? A ticket, people, now? This is going to be the new thing. They're going to start. This is how it starts. First, it's just a nice event. And then all of a sudden, people are like, I'm going to use this to get, maybe, and you get some local stupid mayor. And all of a sudden now, you're getting pulled over on Sunday because you're driving. And you're not going somewhere. That's on their okay list. Well, where are you going? I don't know. I'm just driving the car. I need to get a Celsius. What if I don't have Celsius on Sunday? I got to go walk to go find a Celsius? After I just ran. I run on Sundays. I deserve to drive. Don't tell me I can't drive on Sundays. That's why I'm leaving New York. I want to go somewhere where I can drive 8 days a week. Don't tell me I can't drive. How am I going to stay in traffic if I can't drive? Am I going to stand on the Southern State Parkway on a Sunday? No. I'm going to drive. And I'm going to use a lot of gas, and I'm going to blow it right through Farmingdale State College Transportation Advocates. That's not even a title. It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. These are people with made-up jobs that do made-up things to annoy us. That's annoying to me. I don't want to be annoyed. Leave me alone. I don't want to hear this crap. Don't drive on Sundays. You know what? You don't eat on Mondays. When you don't eat on Monday, I won't drive on Sunday, all right? How about this? Don't go to the bathroom on Wednesday. Let's do that. Let's not flush the toilet on Wednesdays and Sunday afternoon. Then I won't drive, okay? How's that, stupid? Tell me what I can do. I pay taxes sometimes. So don't tell me what I can do or can't do. This is why people are leaving New York. Gah! Anyway. Anywho. I got that off my chest. Cocaine and Rhinestones. This should be a good book. I know who's going to get this book. My mom's all over this book already. That I said this on the show. She's watching. She's already calling my sister at the library saying, did that book that Steve just mentioned, did that get in yet? Cocaine and Rhinestones. Did that? That's a great title for a song or a TV show. Cocaine and Rhinestones. Oh, sure. The stormy relationship of Tammy Wynette and George Jones. Those country singers, boy, they live a hard life. You think Metallica, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Green Day, you think those rock stars live a hard life? No, nobody lives it harder than those country. They come out with the cowboy hat, yes ma'am, and they think you think they're a good, easy, clean living. No, not those. They are hard living. Hard living. Hey, look who's coming to where? Who's coming where? We'll be on Long Island Tuesday, October 29th. It doesn't say where. A chat with Food Network star, the one and only Bobby Flay will be here. October 29th. $60 for the ticket, and I don't know where it is. So I guess you pay $60 and then they'll tell you where it is. And if you're a subscriber to Newsday, it's only $50. Where is this event going to be? It's a Long Island Lit Fest. A conversation with Emmy-winning chef, entrepreneur, and host of the Long Island Food Network, Bobby Flay. Interesting. And it's followed by a Q&A. For tickets and more information, go to newsday.com/Bobby Flay. It's good. I like Bobby Flay. His shows, he's entertaining. You know, they always have the Iron Chef, Beat Bobby Flay. Those things are good. I like that. Bobby Flay. So he's coming to Long Island. I don't know if he's going to be as funny as Sebastian, but and Sebastian Maniscalco, they actually in March, this was so big, they added he's going to be at the UBS Arena in March. He's doing 2 or 3 shows there, so check him out. You know, if you have an opportunity to go, it was a great show. You should see it. It'll be in March. You'll see it. If the tickets are on sale now, I would try to get them because they do go quick. They do go quickly. What else we got for you? You know, I guess is this similar? This was a couple of quick stories that caught my attention, along with the climate people that are, there's a lot of, goes along with what I'm talking about in the problem here and why people are just fed up and leaving. It's not just that you're paying enormous taxes. It's the annoying people here. So this is another thing that has happened here in New York. I'll try to show you the picture. It says here, what is this? This was in New York. Again, climate activists. This is part of they were protesting it was all had to do with oil prices and the utilization of oil as opposed to clean air and whatever nonsense. You know, it's always so you have these these kind of protesting people, the climate freaks. So here they are. Can you see them? They're all arm in arm, handcuffed. These 4 or 5 people. Police are behind them. And they're all, you see them all, very angry, very passionate, arm in arm. And this is why you leave New York. Who has this kind of, first of all, who has this kind of time? I don't want to go arm in arm with anybody for any cause. There is no cause that I care enough about to lock arms with somebody and get arrested. What are they? And they're so upset. They're screaming about fossil fuel. These 4 people, 5. This guy's not even looking. He doesn't want to look at the camera. He doesn't want his friends to see him Monday. He locked arms in arms, called a climate-yielding protester. They're not going to. What are they looking to save? Planet? What are you doing? You got to be doing something better on your weekend. Go to a comedy show. Do something. It's beautiful out. Don't protest. I mean, I'm all for protesting, but this is. I don't know about this. Climate? What are you protesting? You don't like the climate? I hate the climate. I don't like when it's hot out, but I don't go lock arms with somebody. I don't like anybody that much to be that close to, first of all, let alone for a cause. You know why? Because I don't care. That's my cause. I don't care. Don't care. I'm not saving the planet. Believe me, I got enough problems. I can't even save myself, let alone save the earth. It's all part of my set the bar low. You trying to save the earth, that's a high bar. You're not going to do it. You're just setting yourself up for failure. Those people, arm in arm, they're going to fail. Me? I'm going to succeed today because I got up. I'm here doing the show. I'm a winner. Here's another problem. This pickleball nonsense. This old, beautiful, little, small inlet. I believe they call it an inlet. It's one of these little snobby areas. Southold. Old Schoolhouse Park. Isn't that sound nice? In East Marion, very wealthy. Money just dripping off the tree. They have money trees there. You just take the money off the tree and go buy what you want. They have new pickleball courts they thought would be nice for the residents. Unbeknownst. You try to do something nice, you're just going to upset somebody. The residents are upset. They say, I can hear that pong of that ball hitting the racket. It's annoying my day. It's bothering me. So now, here's what happens. They built 3 new pickleball courts, thought they were doing something nice. And because 50 neighbors petitions, these are again people that have nothing to do, about the noise impact, they're now spending $17,000 on putting up trees that will muffle the noise. That's a mistake. I could save you $17,000. You take the 50 people that live in that town that petition, you have them move and evicted to a different town. There's your $17,000. I just saved your inlet $17,000. Or you hand out earbuds, hand out little noise things. They do it all the time at airplanes, concerts. Just put a little earbud in. That's all. You're gonna put trees down to muffle noise? What are you doing? What are you doing? This is all part of my what are you doing? This is why people are leaving New York. Because these things are going on all over the place. And who likes to... First of all, if you live in an inlet, that bothers me right off the bat. You live in a city, you live in a town. I don't want to hear that you live in a inlet or some other nonsense name that they call it. Just stop with the fancy names. You live in a town and be done with it. Accept it. You live in an inlet. What is that? It's good. That is good. The Mumford. So if you have any good country, do you have, like, what do you like? Jason Aldean, the Mumford Sons. It is the fall, right? You get your mums. Maybe the Mumford Sons. The Judds. Reba, Shania Twain. Trisha Yew. I don't know. Alan Jackson, George Strait. You got Country Now, Country Then. You want a group, a country group? I don't know. I'm still putting together my playlist, but I am feeling that that's my way to go because I need something more melodic. Again, more to put myself in a certain way. I need to be in a way. So this is this anything? I don't like that story. I pulled it, but you know what? Let's see what I'll give you. Oh, this is funny. I didn't even know this. So you know Donald Sutherland has Kiefer Sutherland, his son, Kiefer Sutherland. Apparently there's another brother, Rossif Sutherland. And he stars in a new Murder in a Small Town. He's playing a detective. And they talk about the dad in this article in relation. They don't mention Kiefer once. I wonder why that is. But this guy definitely hasn't made it as big as Kiefer or his dad. I've never even heard of him. But his name is Rossif Sutherland. And he's got a show coming called Murder in a Small Town. We'll see how that does. It doesn't even say where it is or where it's streaming. So, let's get to why you do stay here and what we can offer you. We can offer you zeal for a deal. Here's what we can offer you. And pretty much this is offered anywhere. 5 fast food chain restaurants. I know you were waiting for this. 5 fast food chain restaurants are offering for this month a deal. A deal. Let's see what this deal is. Okay? Okay. McDonald's. Let's start with McDonald's. McDonald's has the $5 meal deal. They have the $5 meal deal. Now, you know this is against anything I stand for. This is, I would go arm in arm. I probably wouldn't go arm in arm. I would just protest this. But I'll say it to you anyway, so in case you want to compare and see. McDonald's has a $5 meal. You get a 1 McDouble or McChicken, 4 pieces of chicken McNuggets, small fries, and a small drink. I don't know. I think that drink is a soda. I'm not sure if it's like a cocktail. I don't think McDonald's is offering cocktails yet. But when they say a small drink, I'm going to guess it's a soft drink. It says this meal is 800 calories. That's a lie. The fries alone are 800 calories. Now, it says the McDouble is often confused with the Golden Arches double cheeseburger. But here's the difference, and I you know me, I'm a stickler for difference and for clarity, and here is the clarity. The McDouble contains a single slice of processed, disgusting cheese. Okay? The double cheeseburger, as the name states, you get twice the chance to finish yourself off. Twice the chance to jack up your cholesterol. You want one? We don't think we can do enough damage to you, McDonald's says. Let's do it twice. So that you get 2 pieces for the price of 1. 2 pieces of cheese. Delicious. And you'll get your McNuggets. Okay, so that's their deal. $5. What is KFC has a $5 deal. They have the $4.99 actually. Even better. They give you 1 drumstick, which as a former drummer is very hard to play. The drums with 1 drumstick. You get 1 thigh, mashed potatoes with gravy, and a biscuit. So that little box of whatever is 720 calories. Again, I feel like that's lowballing it. And you don't get a drink. You don't get to wash this down with anything. You got to choke it down. You want a drink, that's separate. That's a la carte. Okay? Burger King, home of the Whopper. Have it your way. They have a your way meal, $5. These are all $5 meals. You get a Whopper Junior, the Junior Whopper, a Chicken Junior, or Bacon Cheeseburger, 4 pieces of their own nuggets. It says value fries. I'm not sure what that means. And a value drink. Wendy's is giving you the $5 biggie bag. Get a chicken sandwich, a burger, or bacon burger, small drink, fries. You get the picture. And then Taco Bell. Last but not least, you get it $7. You get 1 Chalupa Supreme. The Chalupa Supreme, which, by the way, is, I believe the Chalupa Supreme is the Supreme Court down in Brazil. It's called the Chalupa Supreme. That's when you're being indicted on drug cartel charges. You got to go before the Chalupa Supreme. But here it's a quite different thing. It's some form of congealed beans, rice, and whatever in a shell. One beefy 5-layer burrito, just in case, and if you don't go out after that. A double stacked taco, chips with nacho cheese, and a medium drink. So they're all offering this at the same time, biting for your almighty dollar. These are these value things. And I'll tell you, and this is my new health segment, but I always have a little health segment. I'm a big advocate of, all seriousness, the fast food sodium contents are what really gets you. And it's just the quality of the food is poor. It's not anything you would want to digest or want your body to digest. And I say this to my clients and to everybody all the time. We have cars. We take such good care of cars. We put good gas in the car. You get your oil changed. You're so worried, right? You want the rotating tires, alignments. We don't want anything to happen. So we take such good care. And then you stop off and you go through a drive-thru and eat one of these things. Don't you care about yourself? Come on. You're better than that. So don't buy it. And I don't care how cheap it is. You can get healthy food cheap. You can get a salad. You can get fruit. You can get things. Don't let them con you. Go to Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, or even supermarkets now have Wild by Nature. Do that. And here leads into a little bit of a health segment. They had a new study that came out, and this is really not new, but climbing stairs is a much faster way to burn calories than going for a walk. It's double the exertion on the metabolic rate, and you can really burn double the amount of calories in half of the amount of time if you're ascending a hill or climbing up stairs. Be careful of your knees. Is a much better exercise. They actually have here in Japan the stair climbing world championships, which is quite interesting. It says Susie Walsham has won 10 races up the Empire State Building. Officially 1,576 stairs. Good for her. She's claimed titles in more than 100 international star races and was once regarded as the #1 walker upstairs. She is the best going upstairs. Not so much going down the stairs. She's fantastic up the stairs. But they have a championship for this. This will be in the Olympics. I think this should be in the Olympics. Stair climbing. Just right up the stairs. But it is something. And here's a little other tidbit to add in on. A little food tip. Foods to avoid before bedtime. I think this is key because a lot of people have, this is also myths about your body knows what time it is. Don't eat late. Don't eat after 6. These are all, it really comes out of the fact that we think we're burning because we're more active in the day, and then you just kind of eat and go to bed, so your body's not. But if you're in a constant furnace or metabolic burn, it really doesn't matter. But there are certain things that you, for the average person that is not very active, at least, or maybe 1 or 2 times a week, foods you want to avoid before bedtime. Tomatoes. You don't want to have tomatoes because tomatoes are a little acidic and they give you acid reflux. So you do want to watch tomatoes before you go to bed. You could throw them at the TV, but you don't want to eat them. This is odd. It says cheeseburgers. I mean, it doesn't. Do they really need to say why? You shouldn't eat that anytime. Before you go to bed, you shouldn't eat that when you wake up, or you shouldn't eat that in the middle of the day. I don't know why they're putting that there. That doesn't make sense. Donuts. Again, this doesn't make any sense. It's really just because donuts have a high saturated fat content. The digestive tract can be a little disruptive. You could feel a little upset in your intestinal tract if you go to bed snuggling a jelly donut. So don't do it. Chocolate, another thing, because of obviously chocolate has a caffeine content. It can keep you awake. So you want to be careful of that. Dried fruit, which is good, but they're saying same thing. It's high in fiber, might make you feel a little bit, especially if you have a partner. you might not enjoy that as much. And spicy foods, which goes without saying. That's something that's going to keep you up all night. You always remember those commercials. The guy would get up and then have his blop, blop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what are we? And it was always in the middle of the night. He never had any. He didn't need Alka-Seltzer in the middle of the day. It was always right. He woke up. He put the light on. He couldn't sleep. So it was the spicy food. That's something like that. So, things to... but again, a lot of this is common sense. I mean, before you go to bed, are you really going to have a cheeseburger? No. I hope not. This is interesting and got me thinking. It says this Mexican cartel leader, his son was convicted. So the Mexican cartel leader's son, the son of a Mexican drug cartel leader, was convicted Friday of charges that he used violence, also drug smuggling, dealing. He's also, following the father's footsteps, which is, here's my point. Ruben Asguerra, known as El Manchito, which is also on the Taco Bell $7 menu you can get, an El Manchita. That's with the chips and spicy guac. But here he's a drug cartel smuggler. So it sounds here that El Manchito, the son of the boss, Nemesito Asguerra, served in the Sinji cartels. He's second in command, which if it's your son, wouldn't you make him first in command? I guess he hasn't proved himself yet. So apparently, but here's my problem with this story. He's following in his father's footsteps. If his father was a baseball player, he probably would have been a baseball player, right? We see it all the time when you watch sports. Ken Griffey Jr. The son, they follow in the father's footsteps. This kid had nowhere else, no other role model. If your father is a drug smuggler, there's a good chance you're going to be a drug smuggler, right? I mean, mafia, it's always, this is how it works. So, do you blame him? What other course of action did he have? Your father is the head of the drug cartel in Mexico. You're not going to the University of Mexico to become an accountant. You're just not. You're going into the business. Where's my plane? Fill it with cocaine. Here we go. When am I old enough? So, do you blame this poor guy, El Manchito? I don't think so. I could say that all night. El Manchito. That's my 7 years of Spanish I took in college and high school. El Manchito. See how good I say that? Money well spent at Hofstra. I'm mad at Fox. I'm always mad at Fox. So, here's a new show coming into Fox. Excitement in the waves. You see, they're saving lives. They're at the beach. It's called, what is this stupid show called? High Surf? Rescue High Surf. So it's beautiful people, of course, because you never have ugly people saving lives. It's not done. Beautiful people are the only ones allowed to save lives. And these people are lifesavers at the beach. And it had me thinking, when I, again, with dumbbells, and I go and pitch my show Dumbbells, and they say to me when I pitch, we're looking for something original. And how often do I say this to you guys? I sound like a broken record. We're looking, you know what we want? Something original, something fresh. That's too much like, we want something fresh. Well, is High Surf fresh? It seems to me there was a show 30 years ago with a certain David Hasselhoff called Baywatch. So, because it's called High Surf, does not make it original, you stupid people. There's no more stupid people than TV executives. No more. Not El Manchito, not those 4 people that are arm in arm hugging to save the earth. Nobody is more dumb or illiterate than TV executives who decide what's on and off TV. So, these people that say they're looking for something original, they're not. And here's my proof. They are airing High Surf, Rescue High Surf. But who doesn't love Baywatch? Pamela Anderson, David Hasselhoff. So now you have whatever Gen Z actors they have that look beautiful, pulling bodies frantically out of the water. Doesn't work like that. But good for Fox. Good for Fox. Good for you. Good for you. What else we got here? Oh, I wanted to read you. I think there was a good deer story. Oh, Miley Cyrus is getting sued. Did you hear this? Miley Cyrus is getting sued for copyright infringement. It seems she stole one of Bruno Mars' songs, or really the chords and musical tracks to his song "When I Was Your Man" with her song "Flowers." It's basically the same song, 10 years apart. Oh, Miley! I'm sure this will be settled out of. She could pay off this lawsuit with what's in her Gucci pocketbook or under her tattoos. Anyway, where was my funny? Oh, this was the country artist, Zach Bryan. He said something. He said something about Taylor Swift. That's not even good. Let me see. Here it is. Let me see if we got a little Ask Eric. It says, "Dear Eric," I'll give you a Dear Eric for now. "I have a group of 3 girlfriends from high school. We stayed close during college and were in each other's weddings. I have known these women for more than 50 years. That's way too long. There is one person in the group, there's always one, that I have been consistently close with over the many years. The other 2 I have not, and there was a more than 15-year gap in our friendships. The problem is that I have outgrown these 2. So she's feels like she's outgrown the other 2. And I don't know what that means. You know, when you say, "Oh, I've outgrown them," you're putting other people down, and you're saying you've become too much. You're too smart, too wonderful a person to associate with those. Do you mean outgrown them in height? Or do you mean outgrown them in intellect? Are they still reading on the same 4th grade level when you were friends? What is the problem here? It says, "These 2 always insist we get together as a group 4 times a year, usually around birthdays. Aren't they the worst? It is always a headache trying to coordinate schedules. They're very difficult to deal with. I would like to withdraw from these gatherings. I've tried in the past, but they don't take no for an answer. How do I end this madness?" Well, I'll tell you. Over it. It says signed over it. You obviously haven't outgrown the ability to say you don't want to do something, because you have to ask a newspaper columnist how to say you don't want to do something. You know how you do it? You say, "I don't want to go. I can't go. I'm not going. I've outgrown you. I've outgrowthed you. I'm outgrown you." Apparently, she's not as outgrown as she thinks, because she has to write to Eric to ask him how to say no. You just say no. I'll tell you what to do. You say no. That is annoying. I could just tell. Can't you just tell from certain words? I don't have to meet this woman. I know. And I don't know if it's a woman. It never says. I mean, she says she has 3 girlfriends, so I'm assuming it's a girl clique. I'm just assuming, but you should never assume. You know what happens? You make an ass out of you and me. Assume. That is not mine. I stole that from Tony Randall, Felix Unger, in The Odd Couple many years ago. See, if Steve was on right now, he would call me out for that. That's why I'm giving proper credit. I'm not Miley Cyrus. I do not steal other people's creative work, because I know how the tireless efforts to create something. Dumbbells. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. What are you all having for dinner tonight? Are you all right after the show going to run to those 5 different fast food restaurants and get the El Manchito? I'd like the Drug Cartel Special, please. Go to Taco Bell, ask them for the Drug Cartel Special. El Manchito with extra guac. That's what you want, the El Manchito. Okay, they're off to college. What does the empty nesters do? This is an article they had. How parents can cope with mixed feelings. I mean, you've had these kids for 18 years. They're off to college. What are you talking about? Go away. Go on a trip. You're finally free. What are you doing? It says, I miss him. I'm sad. He's away. What do I do? What do you do? I mean, it's 18 years of a headache. You've written a check for who God only knows how much to send these kids away. Right? $500 million right now to send a kid to college. Unless he's some kind of super athlete. or is discovering the quantum physics and gets a scholarship. You're going to pay to send one of your kids to school. This is unbelievable. And then they have this person who specializes in this. At my alma mater, no less. The director of parent and family programs at Hofstra University. It gives advice to people on how to deal with this. How do you deal? You turn their room into a hobby room, an office, put a ping pong table in there, get yourself a nice pool table. That's it. Have friends come up, live again, enjoy. That's what you do. You don't sit and go. Let me tell you what the kid's doing. As soon as he leaves the house and steps on campus, he's calling El Monchito and he's getting cocaine and rhinestones. That's what he's doing. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do. Live. Enjoy. You're free. And you're not going to be free for long, because in 4 years, or if he gets expelled, he or she gets expelled, which is a good chance of that, they're going to be back home. Don't worry. And then you'll complain about that. You're never happy. I understand. You're never happy. I'm never happy either. Join the club. That's going to be my new club, Never Happy. I'm going to form a club at the library, Never Happy. Just a bunch of us sitting around angry, talking about things that annoy us. But I'll stay in New York. I'll grind it out. I don't care if I'm paying $1 billion in taxes and the chalupa meal goes up to $45. I will not move. You will not win, New York. You will not beat me. You're not sending me to another state. I'm not going to Nevada. You're not sending me to Idaho. I'm not going to be one of those, oh, you know what? I got a beautiful spread in Montana. It's wonderful. It's not going to be me. You're not getting rid of me. Not that easy. Montana doesn't even have a sport team. Who am I going to root for? That's big sky country. I don't want to go there. Not going. You can't make me leave New York. I will sit in traffic. I will be inconvenienced while you're on a high-speed police chase. I don't care. I love New York. The Big Apple, baby. You can take a bite out of it, but I'm here. I love the Big Apple. Hey! What else we got for you? We got Demi Moore. They got some Demi Moore. This is Demi Moore week. Or is it Demi Moore? That always annoyed me. That seems a little pretentious, right? She was always Demi Moore. Now it's Demi Moore. Well, I don't know where you put the accent. Anyway, they're rolling her movies out this week. Of course, one of her famous first ones, St. Elmo's Fire, with the whole Rat Pack. You had all of them in there. You had Emilio Estevez, all of them. Andrew McCarthy, Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe's hosting a game show right now. I love Rob Lowe. He is fantastic, funny. He's hosting a new game show, but I think he should be doing something so much more. He's just great. About Last Night. Now that was with, you remember About Last Night with Jim Belushi? I think, was Rob Lowe in that too? Yes, co-starred with Rob Lowe. I knew it. That was a David Mamet, actually, play. And they turned it into a movie About Last Night. It was very good. He was set in Chicago and blah, blah, blah. It was a love story. She's always in these love stories. Ghost, of course, with the great Patrick Swayze. A Few Good Men. Who didn't love that? You can't handle the truth. That's Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson, Kevin Bacon. It's a great cast. Good movie. Indecent Proposal. Do you remember that? Indecent Proposal. Who was in that? Robert Redford, Woody Harrelson. I thought that was mismatched. She had Woody Harrelson play her husband. I didn't love that casting. He was good, but I don't know. She was also in Striptease. That was a terrible movie. G.I. Jane. She's they're airing G.I. Jane as well. And I didn't know she was in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. So apparently she was in that too. So they're going to be airing, it's going to be a Demi Moore week. So you can look out for those movies. They'll be streaming on everywhere. Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, Tubi. It's just going to be a whole Demi Moore week. Which movie did I like? There was another, she did another good movie. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but it was with Michael Douglas and Donald Sutherland. You see the way I turned it all around. It was really, really a good drama movie. Oh boy. You know what? Before I leave, I can't leave you people hanging. This is how much I love you people. Here, you know what? Say hi to Kermit in the meantime. I know. I'm not getting rid of Kermit. I don't care what you say. You can't get rid of me. You can't get rid of Kermit. Let me look up Demi Moore. And I'll put Michael Douglas because I think they only did one movie together, if I'm not mistaken. Disclosure, 1994. Really good thriller mystery movie. Donald Sutherland was in it as well. Awesome movie. You should watch that. Really good. It's $7.29. Trying to think. Oh, before I forget, the Fun Book came out. And who is on the cover? I'll reveal it to you. Bam! That is the cover of your fall Fun Book. That kid is having the time of his life. He's sitting in a wheelbarrow and just enjoying life. That's where you peak in life. It all goes downhill from there. And that's what's going to happen to this kid. I'm sure somebody's going to roll him downhill. And there he is. And everybody was that age, right? We were all innocent young youth. Even El Manchito. At one point, he was just a little kid. He wasn't, a high-end cartel drug smuggling dealer in Mexico. There had to be some time he was a child. Maybe. So this is, I'm not sure if this was sometimes they show the runner-up pictures. Let's take a look. They always show the runner-ups. Here, this was two runner-ups. Or at least one. This is the kid with the apples. I kind of like that. The kid with the apple. And so I guess it was just one runner-up. Yeah, he's got the apples. That's cute. And he's got the... I don't know, which one do you like better? Do you like Apple Kid? Applejack? Or do you like this little kid? Anyway, so the Fall Book is out. In case you don't know what to do in New York and Long Island, that book will tell you what to do. That'll tell you how to live. So I really gave you a lot to think about and to ponder. I want you to ponder. That's my homework for you. Did I have anything else I wanted to share with you? Not much. So next week I'll be in the studio. Next Monday, definitely. The 30th, we're back in. They're none filming. Boy, they could have filmed a 3-hour episode, Titanic 2 by now. I don't know, what's going on over there, but we'll be back in on the 30th. We're going to have Bob Spiata come in as one of our guests. We're going to try to lock that down this week. He is that educational character guy that does a lot of different characters at the local venues. So he's going to try to come in on the 30th, I believe. We're trying to lock that down for you. Tonight, don't forget, 11:30 on Jimmy Fallon. You're going to check out Sebastian Maniscalco. And if you haven't seen, watch his Netflix specials. Don't look at the Vegas one. Look at Are You Still Hungry or Are You Embarrassed? Those early ones are classics. The Vegas one was a little, it's like any of them. As they get old, they start getting... But last night was great. Really, really good. It was called... This new tour is called It Ain't Right. And he's going to be coming to UBS in March. So that was great. Had a really good time at that. Don't leave New York. Stay with me. Don't make me stay here by myself. And I think we really covered a lot of stuff. What else did we cover? Yeah, I think that's all I'll give you for this week. I think we had a nice chat. a good session to get things off our chest. Again, if you have any good country songs or good that you think it would be a good song to run to, something nice, easy listening, please Instagram me at Stephen R. Kaminsky. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Give you a shout out when I do that race, which is coming up in about a month. So I got to get moving. I've been really hitting the pavement, as they say. So I want you all to have a wonderful, good, safe week as always. And for myself, for Kermit, the svelte Kermit. Thank you so much for joining us on the Steve Squared Show, sponsored by Governors Comedy Club. Governors has all its great podcast shows, and we love you to tune in. Next Monday, 6:30, we'll have the whole gang, Tony, Steve, and myself, and maybe we'll even have a special guest or two. So once again, have a great week. Thank you. Have a great